Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to FTRL. And you join us here tonight. It's Friday. It is a warm summer's evening. I have taken off my trousers. We all know what that means. It is time for the GT1 season finale from Trial Mountain. We have got 72 laps coming up for you. 72. The race is going to be easily 2 hours plus. Everybody in the league asking for an endurance race this season, and that is most definitely what they have got. We'll be starting very, very shortly. It is such a long race that what we're going to do is we're going to get started. We're going to run through the first few laps, see how things shuffle out, and then I am going to run through how we stand, both in terms of the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors' Championship, which are both up for grabs. I believe we also have some category championships up in the running as well. So we've already got 11 people in straight off the bat, so welcome. Good to have you all along. I don't think any of us have any idea what's going to happen tonight, especially when it comes to the constructors. Let's just wait and see. We'll be getting going very, very shortly. Couple of stand-ins tonight. We've only got 12 on the grid at the minute as well, so I think we're still waiting for a couple more to join. If you are in the chat, please let me know if the volumes are all okay. Raise volume, voice, etc, etc. Let's have a look and see what he's got in. We've got Aaron around the Subaru. I drove the Subaru around here last night. Lovely, lovely car around here. Of course, most of us will know by now it's a little bit lacking on pace when it comes to the straights. And there's a couple of long straights here at Trial Mountain. Since they brought this track back from the original, they sort of stretched it out a bit, lengthened the straights. Lennon's stuck in traffic. Oh dear. I mean, is he the cause? Depends if his real life driving is anything like his Gran Turismo driving. That's right, it's going to be bitch SBY tonight. He's back. That's a very good point for Fever. If Leonard's not able to make it, then only man's going to have 2 drivers. However, you know what? If we are waiting, because the team's championship is the most complicated, we'll look at the drivers in a minute. But let's take a look at the team's championship while we're here. Won't be long. Yeah, we're waiting for him anyway. But let's take a peek. So, team's championship, as it stands. Thompsons and Mongs, 1,443.5. And then Team Only Man's 1,437. So there's literally 6 points in it. Out of a whole season, 9 races across, well, 9 evenings, sorry, many more than 9 races. 9 weeks, 2 divisions, and it comes down to 6 points. Now, as we know from my commentary this season, my grasp of the rules this season has not been precise. Now, I know GT1 drivers filling in for GT2 get half points. Do GT2 drivers filling in for GT1 get half points as well? If someone can tell me that'd be really, really handy. Because we do have a few stand-ins tonight, and in particular a few stand-ins for the 2 teams that are competing. So really, I mean, Team Tools, which is Ross, Pagani, and I forget who the third one is. One of the others, Panda, I believe, who's not racing tonight. So Panda has got a stand-in. I can't tell who it is because everybody's sat in the pits. But Andy is standing in for T. Smith in Thompson's and Monks. And then you've got Garni for Tools. Yeah, so Team Tools are... They do get half points again. Thank you, Fever. So, Team Tools have not... They have got 3 drivers. Garni, Blue Flag, Ross. They're all here. They're all scoring full points. So, I wouldn't necessarily write them off, as we saw here. We'll just have a quick look at it again. They're a long way behind. Full 56.5 points off the lead. Now, there's 45 points available for a win. 3 points for every position. So, it's not out of the question. Garni's grabbed a good few wins this season because he's leading the Drivers' Championship. Blue Flag's putting some decent performances, as has Ross. So I wouldn't write them off just yet. Now, is it too much to ask? I don't know. It's a big ask at 57.5 points. You're gonna need the win. You're probably gonna need 2 Tools cars on the podium in order to claw that back. But let's not rule it out. It's not over till it's over. So Team Only Mans, who are currently running in second, have Bieber standing in. Lee. And have we got... We're waiting for Lennon. Of course we are. We're waiting for Lennon. So it may depend on if Lennon manages to get here in time. We've only got 13 runners on the grid at the minute. We'll see how the starting grid pans out. And then in the lead, of course, you've got Team Thompson and Mongs. And they do have, I believe it's 2 stand-ins today. So T. Smith is not available. Panda is not available. So we've got Andy standing in. We've got Aaron, who is the only remaining GT1 driver in the team. And we've got... Oh, no, sorry, Tom Duval is there as well. My mistake. So we've got Tom, we've got Aaron, we've got Andy as stand-in. So Andy's only going to be earning half points, which could make a big difference. But yeah. It may come down to attendance. Oh, sorry, it's right. See, I'm really buggering up the teams here. Garni, Blue Flag, and Mikey is in for Panda for Team Blue. Sorry, not Ross. Of course, Ross is quick fit. T. Smith in the chat, sat on the runway waiting to take off. Can we start so I can't watch a lap or 2? Well, you're sat on the runway. Lennon is apparently sat somewhere on a motorway. We'll see which one comes first. Zom is in the chat. Good evening, Zom. Good evening, Derek. Still is there. I saw you're already a few cans down, Derek. Love it. Goy wants to know what's random alcoholic concoction you're partaking in tonight. You'd be very disappointed, Goy. It's just a lager. I felt I needed a nice cold lager to get me through the what was likely to be 2+ hours. It's Pete Man. Pete Man is here. Good evening, Pete Man. Carl is subbing in for Jadon. Can somebody, admin or otherwise, let me know if we are likely to have 15 drivers here if we're only waiting for one more, because if so, I may well be able to get in a co-commentator here. So we're all going to have to wait, bated breath. While we do that, let's have a little chat about the GT2 race last night. Woo. So, Fever bossed it, obviously. I was running in that race as a subbing for Beach, and I reckon I would have had a chance if I'd started at the front of the grid alongside him. Okay. Looks like Bieber is saying we are 1 short. Okay then. Well, if that is the case, that is a real shame. However, once again, it doesn't necessarily rule anything out. Because as we just said, Weber absolutely bossed the GT2 race last night. Nobody could get anywhere near him. But what's not to say he can't do the same again tonight? It is going to need a big performance from Lee, though. I think they're going to need some form of issues for Team Toms. Here is Dusty Fossil, so we are going to be up to a complement of 14. Okay, so we'll be getting started very, very shortly. He's ready. Dusty Fossil is ready. He's already stepped in GT2 last night. He's stepping in again. Good man. He must love driving 2.5 hours of Troy Mountain. Nobby, Stephen Norris, he's in the YouTube chat. Mate, we've got 1 space for a debut co-commentator. Get yourself into the race lobby. And I'll send you a party invite. I didn't want to spoil the surprise, but, you know, we want to make sure it happens. All right, here we go. The final race of the FTRL season. It is a rolling start. So the guys at the front are going to have the advantage. However, long race. All right, here we go. Proceeding towards the start line, it is Andy and Ross who are going to lead us off from the front row. Let's go. Who's going to get a decent start? Andy has started on the soft tyres, hoping to get away early. They all filter down towards this twisting first section of the track. Going to be some cold tyres out there. We're going to watch people going wide, and somebody has gone very wide, and it's Homer. Ooh, just about kept it on the track. In the background, Dusty Fossil, Biggles, Bieber and Tom Duval all filtering through. And everybody looks to be just about safely round the first sector. Everybody just needs to keep it calm, keep it sensible. He says that. For the first few laps as Mikey pushes it a little bit wide in the background. Homer and then Blue Flag following through in P10. Dusty Fossil in 11th, and then Biggles, Fever and Tom Duval at the back at the moment. Tom Duval decided to put his hazards on for good measure. Maybe a sign of things to come. We've got something in the chat about lag. I'm not seeing any on the stream. But I don't think that's going to stop us. And we've got Pagani looking to make a move up to P3. He's not going to get past Rom there, though. Rom usually a pretty difficult person to get past at the best of times, and he's on the soft tyres compared to Pagani's mediums. Now, how long can these guys make these softs last? Especially when battling over the first few laps. Now, depends on the car, obviously. Last night I was able to get 7, and I could have pushed 8. I decided not to risk it. We've seen quite a few incidents this season with various drivers where they've tried to just push You know, since the update especially, they've tried to push the tyres just that little bit too far, and it's come back to bite them. Admittedly, 90% of those have been Jadon, but it's affected a few other people as well. Oh, and Rom and Ross are side by side coming into Sector 1, which is always dangerous. Ross backs out, and Rom is into P2. Garney sits back in P4. These four have made a break. Graham's in 5th, followed by Lee, who's made a good start. Then it's Aaron in 7th, Homer in 8th, and then we're into the hard tyre runners. Mikey, very, very sideways onto the grass. Oh, he cut that corner a little too much. He did really, really well to save it. Blue Flag's teammate is right behind him now. Is he going to give him a push, or is he going to go for the move? Go on board with Blue Flag. Where's Mike? Yeah, Mike's let him go, which is probably for the best there. He's going to filter in behind. Biggles still P11. Biggles is going to need to get a move on. With Pagani already up now in P3. Pagani was 4th, but he's overtaken Andy, who slipped back. They slipped back a lot. Andy must have had an incident there because he's gone all the way back to P4 and is a couple of seconds behind. Right, here we go. I know we've got drama going on, but this is much more important. We're getting our co-commentator in. Let's see how this works. Let's see if it works. Okay, we've got him in. I don't know if anyone can hear him. It's Mr. Nobby Norris. Good evening, sir. Absolutely. I don't know what's going on with T. Smith's flight in the chat. It's almost more interesting than the race. Right, let me know in the chat if that is all working okay and working correctly. Boy says no. Oh dear. Oh no. What's happening? Disaster. T. Smith is stupidly quiet. I think I know why that is. So stay quiet for 2 minutes, Mr. Norris. We'll just have a double check what's going on in the race because Rom has hit the front. Ross is in P2. Pagani is in P3. Andy currently P4 with Graham in 5th. So Graham's making good progress. Lee is trying to hold off Aaron. And then we've got Homer in 8th, Blue Flag in 9th. Mikey was Mikey P10 before? Oh, yeah, of course, because Blue Flag got through. Biggles is holding P11, and he'll just be hoping to make the most of, potential fuel advantage. Still a good effort. Quite a few times this season. And at the back, Dusty's had a bit of a moment in the Lamborghini, and he's 3.5 seconds behind Tom Duval. Right then, I'm going to go silent for... I'm going to go back to the front. I'm going to go silent for just a minute. I'm going to try and sort this out. Oh, disaster. Absolute disaster in the commentary booth. It's only big enough for one. It's not going to work. That is really, really annoying. Ugh. Nonetheless. That is painful. Sorry about that, Nobby. I will explain all later, but let's carry on with the race for now. Right, Ross has hit the lead, and he's a second and a half clear of Rom. Garni is still hanging on in there, and obviously he's doing a pretty good job, and Rom's tyres are dying already, and this is only the end of lap 5. Pretty sure you can get YouTube on a flight these days. Yeah. They don't have the planes with the screens on the top anymore, do they? And the screens in the roof. You get it on for everyone to watch. Maybe you can just do some like some advertising around the plane, Tom. See if you can get enough people tuned in when you're finally in the air. I mean, that woman who thought she was going to Manchester's she's gonna have to have something to do, isn't she? Right, these three. I mean, Ross has pulled out a bit of a gap here. It's a good start from him. Pagani's finally got past Rom. Andy has dropped back a lot now, and those soft tyres are starting to hurt him, but he's still ahead of the rest of the pack. He will definitely be in at the end of this lap, I'll say. Graham's P5, Aaron is in P6, Lee is 7th, and Homer P8. Blue Flag's 9th, Mikey's disappeared. Where's Mikey? Does anyone know where Mikey is? Oh, there he is, P13. He's been doing... I think he's just been passed by a couple of people, to be honest. I missed him from his previous position and naturally assumed he'd spun, but he's actually doing alright. I think he's just been passed by a couple of people. Tom Duval, the latest. Dusty is still hanging on in there. He's 3 seconds back from Mikey. Oh. So annoyed about that. So annoyed we've lost Nobby. This is me trying to be clever, you see. Trying to be clever with my fancy graphics when we could have had a perfectly good co-commentator instead. Right, Rom is in the pits. End of lap 6, and Andy has joined him as well. Rom has got 10 litres more fuel than Andy has. It's quite significant. And that promotes Graham to P3. Closely followed by Aaron. Aaron just outside of slipstream range at the minute. And at the front, Ross still has his 2-second lead from Pagani. We'll see if Pagani can start hunting him down now. Pagani's already put in a 1:51.8 on the medium, so that's not quite as quick as Ross. Then a 1:51.4 and is 0.2 purple through that sector. Zon wants to know what tyres is Tom on. I mean, the one benefit of T. Smith being sat on a plane is that I only have one Tom to deal with, so I can call him Tom. He is on the hard tyres, and they're looking pretty good. I mean, the hard tyres are not going to be an issue. I think Tom Duval is the one experiencing the lag, because he's the only one it glitches onto when I go to him on the stream. But he's running P10. These guys, these hard tyre runners, have already got a 17-second gap, 18-second gap to the lead. So there's a lot of work, particularly for Biggles, to do. He's made his way up to P7, and running the hard tyres means if he doesn't want to use them later, Tom, T. Smith, that is. If he doesn't want to use any of them later, he doesn't have to, and I don't think you do need to be fair. I didn't get the opportunity last night, obviously filling in. I could only use the hard tyres, but in all honesty, these guys should be able to run the mediums for a full tank of fuel. Lee now coming under pressure from Homer. Lee's going to need a real good result to keep Team Onlymans in the fight here. He doesn't want to be overtaken by Homer with that terrifying racing helmet. Look at that. Look at that looming in the rearview mirror. Is he going to be able to make it past Lee? The Jaguar's got okay straight line speed. Homer's got the toe, but he's not going to be close enough to even think about a move. Not that you would want to do that in turn 1. It was the absolute closest I came to death last night. I tried to attempt an overtake round the outside here, basically on the grass, and nearly ruined it all. So Lee maintains 5th position. Aaron is P4. Graham is 3rd. Oh, Ross is really stretching that gap. 151.4. I mean, we know that Subaru is quick round here. 151.4 is a very good lap on the medium tyres. I'll be interested to see what Ross can do when he gets his stint on the softs. All the drivers, of course, must run hards, mediums, and softs for a minimum of 5 laps each. I'm still complaining about lag in the chat. I think it's a Tom Duval problem, unfortunately, because he's the only one lagging on my screen. Blue flag is currently looking for a way past Feber. He's managed to get past him. Feber is right on the back of Biggles as well. All of these three running the hard tyres. They are the... Oh, there's a squealing of tyres there. I think everyone's okay. Homer's looking for a move on Lee, though, down the inside into the hairpin chicane, but not quite. Lee sweeps around the outside, keeps the position. Flash of the headlights, the hazard lights from Lee. Lee is hanging on. Keep an eye on this for now. Nothing doing there, though, for Homer. So Biggles currently P7, the first of the hard tyre runners, which should be exactly what he's been looking for. As far as fuel goes and as far as pit stops go, there's a couple of options. Obviously, the soft tyre is not really competitive. You can do decent lap times. I'd expect to see low 50s at least on the soft tyres. However, there's a long pit stop here, and even gaining like 3 seconds a lap, as you might do, versus the hard tyres, it's not worth it. So you'd expect most of these drivers to be getting the hards and the softs out the way and running the mediums for the majority of the race. And then it's all about how long you commit fuel last. So 72 laps, you can do, and we did see the majority in the GT2 race last night, do 12 laps, 11, 12 laps a stint. And then throwing in a shorter run on the softs, and that leads you to 6 stops. You can push it to 13 laps on the fuel with a bit of fuel saving, maybe even 14 if you're going for the extreme fuel saving. That can save you a whole stop. It will affect your lap time slightly, and over the 72 laps that will add up, but saving a stop here is a big advantage. A pit stop probably sets you back close to 35 seconds. He's back. He's back. T. Smith's back. Has he literally created a hostage situation to prevent the plane taking off so we can watch more FTRL? I don't know. They've let the woman off. They've let the woman... Bird strike. You could say that. Oh, man. Oh, we've got... who else we got in the chat? We've got 8-Bit Pro in the chat. Good evening. Good to have you along. We've got a combination FTRL finale commentary and also commentary on Tom Smith's attempt to get this plane to take off that he's on. Italians. That explains it. Okay. Catamese is in the chat. Good evening. Ross is 5 seconds clear here. This is a really good start from Ross. He's not got quite as much fuel as Pagani, but I don't think it matters that much in all honesty. He's setting consistent 51s. Pagani's only in the mid-52s, so Ross is pulling away. He's got probably... he's probably only going to get 2 more laps out of that tank. Pagani may get 3, so that might be where we see the difference. Aaron's still holding off Graham in P3, although Graham's got a lot closer. Both of those guys running the mediums as well. Graham has a bit more fuel. And Lee is still holding off Homer, so we've got a number of sort of 2-car battles going on here. We've got Aaron and Graham, Lee and Homer. A bit further back, Biggles is starting to pull clear of Feber. But Biggles has used a bit more fuel, so Feber's doing some really, really good fuel saving in the Lambo. He's had to adapt to that car, of course, running the Subaru in the GT2 race last night, so he's jumped into the Lamborghini and so far doing a pretty good job. And Biggles is in off the hard tyres on lap 10. That is interesting. What is Biggles up to? Pulling a shorter stint on the hard tyres. So now he's got 62 laps after this one. Well, let's just wait and see about that. What does 62 divide into with a stint on the softs? Somebody do some mental maths in the chat and let me know. Mikey promoted to P12. Andy is now at the back. Which means that Dusty Foster has made some progress. He has indeed. What happened to Andy? Oh, a 2.6. That must have been a pit stop, surely. Yeah, he's come out on the mediums. It's not showing on the timer because in 25 years of developing a racing game, Polyphony have failed to be able to show an accurate lap information. So who knows what's happened there, but presumably that's a stop for Andy that's put him at the back. Mikey has set a 2-minute lap time, but I think that's just a Mikey time. I don't think that's a stop, and he's fishtailing it round the corner again and again. He's very low on fuel, is Mikey. Oh my goodness. Goy's going for a big old strategy of 14 times 4 on the mediums. Gee. I mean, that would get him 56 laps, so yeah, I suppose. Oh, we've got Pagani in. So just 11 laps for Pagani on the mediums. He's decided to come in. Ross, I think, is going... Yeah, Ross is going around for one more time. And we're getting a number of people coming here at the end of lap 11. Pagani's got by far the most fuel, but he's decided to pit anyway. Aaron is in. Graham is in. Lee is in. Feber is in. And Duval is in. We'll wait and see if anybody is going for the long stint. There's a lot of strategic theorising going on in the chat. I love it. Keep it up, everyone. Right. We have yet to look at the Drivers' Championship. Let's have a quick look. Pagani. He's just pitted. He's out in P6. He leads the championship by a whole 27 points. He has come storming through. Biggles has led for a long time, but then really bottled it in the penultimate week. I'm sure he won't mind me saying. Well, he might mind a bit, but tough. Pagani's gone to 27 points clear. Aaron is only 5 points behind Biggles. But Aaron 32 points back. So remember, it's 40 points for a win, 3 points... Sorry, 45 points for a win, 3 points per position. So that means, we just look at it one more time, 27 points is the gap. That's 9 positions, which means Pagani has to finish a minimum of P9 to take the driver's title. That doesn't look likely at the minute. You've got to be said. Now, you never know what's going to happen. It can't rain at Trial Mountain, unfortunately. But you still never know what's going to happen. So, a P10 or worse for Pagani gives Biggles a chance. A P12 or worse for Pagani gives Aaron a chance. I think, in all honesty, what we're more likely to see is the battle that is already starting to form here, which is the battle between Biggles and Aaron. So Aaron needs to finish 2 places ahead of Biggles to snatch P2 from him in the Drivers' Championship. Biggles, you can see, pushing pretty hard on the soft tyres. And that is why he's stretching out that gap. He was right with Aaron, but Aaron's come out on the mediums. Biggles has come out on the softs and has stretched out a nearly 4-second gap here. He's closing in rapidly on Andy in P7. So everyone loves the graphics. I mean, I'm not happy with the graphics now. I'm not happy with my choice for the graphics because it means we can't have Nobby in the commentary. But nonetheless, in fact, you know what? I feel like I have to explain myself. I'll explain now. For some stupid reason, when you pass it through, this will be thrilling actually. This will be the best part of the stream. This, when you pass the feed from the PS5 through the Elgato to the laptop, it passes the sound through with it. And I don't know if that's how I've got it set up, but if I turn the wireless headphones on, these are the PS5 headphones. If I turn them on, it just cuts all the sound to the laptop from the PS5, so you wouldn't hear anything. So I can't get Nobby into a party because for that I'd have to have my headphones on. I haven't got a different pair of headphones. The only other way you would hear him is if I spoke through the controller. So that's why you could hear him very, very faintly earlier, because he was coming through the wireless controller. So I could get Nobby into the chat and hold the controller up to the microphone, and he'd sound like he was commentating from inside his own bathroom. But I thought it probably wasn't worth it. Anyway, excuses over. Biggles he was about 3 seconds behind Andy when I last looked. Now he's right on his rear wing. Is he going to go for a quick move here? He has already set the fastest lap of the race, 150.954. So Biggles is the first one into the 50s. Whoa! Just kicks the rear out there. That's not going to help the tyres. Not quite going to be a 50 this time, so he's going to have to find a way past Andy here to make the most of the soft tyre stint. Pagani's out on the hard tyres, now P4. 2.5 seconds behind Ross, who's actually caught Ross up a little bit. It's because he's underfueled. Pagani's underfueled compared to Ross. He's only got 3/4 of a tank left. Nobby says I was in the bathroom. Blue Flag has now inherited P2. Blue Flag's still going. Now that's a 14-lap stint. That's longer than anybody else did last night. The most I could manage was 13 laps last night. I think I was the longest runner in terms of stints. So that is something to keep an eye on. The team tools. Blue Flag now running P2. Yet to stop, but he has run a 14-lap stint. Now we won't be doing that every time. The medium tyres might be a bit close to the edge, and also sort of 5 lots of 14 gets him to 70 laps. So you'd imagine he's going to run maybe 13 laps on the mediums for a while, and then do one more on the softs. So Blue Flag will be, if that is indeed what he's doing, he will be saving stop versus everyone else. Sorry, I'm just looking at more potential technical solutions. A Discord call. I did think about that. I did. It would be difficult to pull off while I'm streaming, I'll be honest. Steve Smith saying can't see it working. I don't know whether he's talking about the Discord call or the pit stop. I think he's talking about the race, which we probably should be talking about a bit more. Yeah, I sort of tend to agree there. Blue Flag's gone for the long stints, but he's doing 154s. He was on the hard tyres, mind. I think. Yeah, he was. So let's see now, and presumably he will go on to the mediums. Yeah. So he's gone on to the mediums. He's underfueled slightly, which makes me think he's not doing another 14 laps. So let's see what times he does now. If you can get that down to... it's a big ask. If you can get it down to maybe 153 flat, I think he's in with a chance of a good result. However, now that he's stopped, he's already a stop behind Rom, who's in the lead. So, I mean, I don't think we're expecting him to win, but a good result is what he'll be looking for. So Rom currently in the lead, although massively underfueled compared to some of the others. He did start on soft tyres, so that's somewhat of an artificial lead. Ross P2, and he's stretched that gap now once again. Pagani obviously gained a bit back in the pits, but running on the softer compounded tyres, Ross is pulling away once more, 4.5 seconds from Pagani. Biggles has now, on the soft tyres, really put the hammer down. Well, I've said that he did a 152 last time round. I don't think those tyres are going to last him too many more laps. But he is closing in on his title rival in Pagani. He may have to use the old use the old free hit chip and just punt Pagani off if he wants to have any chance of the title. Oh, we've got a bit of a battle going on here. Andy versus Aaron. Tom's teammates. T. Smith will be clenching his buttocks on the runway. As Andy, I think, yeah, he's done his best to get out of the way and let Aaron past, whilst trying to keep Feber behind him, and he may have succeeded. He has indeed. Good work from Team Toms there. Yeah, the Discord call I think will work, but I think I would have to do a lot of jiggery pokery with the stream setup, which may lead to me being silent and or cursing for quite a few minutes. But if we have a real quiet period in the race, I'll see. Maybe able to get him in for the end. What's going on a bit further back? Homer is now P9. So everyone's stopped, so things are just sort of shuffling out a little bit. Something's happened with Lee. The Lee was running a pretty solid P6 before. Oh dear, we've lost Tom Duval. I didn't realise. Oh no. Right, that lag's put paid to his race. That could change things. So we've had... Oh dear. Well. Well, the two constructors' rivals, Team Toms and Team Onlymans. We've had one from each now. We've had one stuck in real traffic and one stuck in internet traffic, shall we say. But Lennon wasn't able to race, unfortunately, stuck in real life traffic, and Tom Duval has just lagged out of the race. So now, with a 6-point gap in the team's championship, let's bring it up again, just because I like to use the graphics. Props to Mikey for the quick work on the graphics, by the way. He's quicker with he's quicker on a PC than he is in a race car. Currently running P13. Sorry, Mikey, that was harsh. Thompson's and Mongs, 6 points clear of Onlymans. So now 2 drivers apiece. Team Toms, we've got Aaron in P4, and we've got Andy just being passed by Graham in P7, but also, of course, only earning half points. We've then got Lee, currently running P9, and Feber, currently running P5, but also only on half points, Feber. So it really is a straight shootout now. And at the minute, that is going the way of Team Toms, because unfortunately for Onlymans, their lead driver, or current lead driver, is the one who's only earning half the points. So, you know what I can feel coming? A spreadsheet. No stream has ever suffered through the inclusion of a spreadsheet. Bieber is in the pits off the soft tyres, as is Andy off the mediums. So we're seeing a couple of drivers, and it is the guys who've been running the soft. So they're pitting on laps. It's a second stop on lap 17, the end of lap 17. Biggles, having already made 2 stops, is now out in P11, just ahead of Dusty Fossil. He's going to gain those 2 positions back through the guys in the pits, most likely, unless Fever chooses to short fuel, which he doesn't. So Biggles will be promoted to P9, Dusty to P10. Biggles is 7.5 seconds behind Blue Flag, who's made a stop less. Okay. We're doing some real multitasking now. Rom tries to keep hold of his now 2-second lead, but look at the difference between Rom's fuel and Ross's and Rom's tyres. Rom should be in this lap. You may be able to hear some faint clicking in the background. Am I typing up a live spreadsheet as I commentate? Yes, I am. Doesn't get better than this. Be spreadsheets in Gran Turismo on a Friday night. Ross now has a 7.5-second lead over Pagani. Pagani's doing some good times on the hard tyres though. Ross, of course, on the mediums he was doing 151s. He threw in a 152.3 last time around, so bit of a twitch there. Pagani's doing high 52s, which is very good times on the hard tyres. I don't think he's quite got the pace of Ross. Whoa! That was a. Right, there's some great chat coming in. Norris wants to know. Norris wants to know. Don't forget, Mikey only gets half points tonight. What's half of a 1?
This is great banter. It really is.
Well, fortunately for Mikey, there's only 13 drivers left in the race, and he's right on the back of Andy. Let's not forget that. So the minimum anyone's going to get tonight, assuming there's no rage quits, which we really hope there wouldn't be, and I wouldn't expect one at all from Mikey. But I guarantee there won't be one from Mikey. The minimum we'll get is half of 9, which is 4.5, and I believe, and this might be important. So again, I'm going to need some. I'm going to see some clarification here from the chat. We just do half, but we do literally. Yeah, we do literally half points, don't we? Yeah, just something to send you on your way, Tom. They fly, mate. Now you're actually going. Yeah. So you do actually half points, don't we? We don't round it up or down because some of the teams have half points. So that is a minimum of 4.5 points for Mikey if he can see it through to the end. The good news for him. Ross is on a purple lap here. So I think he got annoyed by the fact that he did a 152. He's 2/10 up. Now the Subaru is probably going to lose a bit of that time up this hill. It's not a quick car in a straight line, as we've already said. Ross is short shifting, so maybe won't expect a fastest lap of the race here. However, he's not that far away. He's setting 151.3s, and the fastest lap of the race so far is only a 150.9. Let's keep an eye on this just in case. There's a prize of a. No, he's behind. I was saying there's a prize of a bottle of Buckfast for Ross if he sets the fastest lap on mediums. Right. So who have we got? We've got Aaron in P3, Team Toms. We've got Lee now back in P6. Now the pit stops have shuffled out. Team Onimans. We've got Feber, the Team Onimans, in P11. And we've got Andy in P12. So, well. Bear with me. I'm doing some Excel formulas. Stand back. Oh, Ross has an 11-second lead. He really is flying. I mean, I know he's on the softer tyre compact, but my God, he's flying. All right, we are. We're not too far over a quarter of the way through this race, so this is the first time I think some predictions in the chat. What do we think? Ross is looking good at the moment. Got to be said, but a long, long, long way to go. A lot of time for stuff to happen. What do we think? Nobby said XL is breaking the stream. Really? Joking, aren't you? You can't actually see it, can you? Oh, Tom Duval, bad luck, mate. That's harsh. I saw the comments about lag earlier on, and I thought, well, there might be, yeah. I was hoping we didn't have, lag throughout the race, but then it started flicking onto you, and you were the only one lagging, and I thought, ooh, oh dear. Derek saying Ross will be okay. It appears my laptop cannot cope with both streaming and calculating Excel formula, so I'll try and get it to do this quickly. Oh man, what am I doing? Okay. Oh God, it's really struggling. Jesus Lord. Right, we're back. I'd love it if halfway through that I just accidentally flashed up a spreadsheet. Right, where's my... I'm trying to gauge my pit stops as well. I've got 3 beers and 72 laps, so I'm looking for a third of the way through, so I've got a bit of time to go yet, unfortunately. Couple more laps. Ross now has a 13-second lead. He's really made the most of this medium stint. Mainly 51s. Compared to Pagani's 53s on the hard. He's been stretching out there for a second and a half every lap. Pagani is in at the end of lap 22, while Ross carries on and could potentially do another 2 laps. Aaron is also in, and he's got really, really close to Pagani on that stint. Less than a second behind, so Aaron has really caught up here. Would make all the difference come the end of the race. Homer is making his way round now in P4. Graham in the pits from P5. From 6th, and Lee's also in. So these guys still pretty closely bunched. T. Smith's still on the fucking runway. Deary me. You won't have taken off by the time we finish this race. Seriously. Oh, man. Time computers, my God. There's a throwback. Honest to God, this laptop is red hot. If the stream dies, it's all going to be my fault. Okay. Oh, honest to God, seriously. Back on the Italians again. Rome Airport is the most chaotic place I've ever been in my life. I swear. There was a massive crowd of people coming through the checking in bit and into the security bit. The initial security bit. And usually everyone, there's a queue and everybody lines up to get their bags checked out. There was no queue, there was just this big scrum of people. And one security guard just sort of casually waving his hand at everybody. He didn't do anything. There was also, while he was doing this, there was a group of people sneaking behind him to skip right to the front of the queue to go through security quicker, and he didn't have a clue. Honest to God. But yeah, Naples. I've never been to Naples, but Rome. Yeah, Rome Airport just chaos. Anyway, Ross has got a huge lead now. He's still got to stop, as has Homer. So these two. Rom is now out in P3. So Rom on a different strategy to most. He's already done 2 pit stops, but yeah, at the end of this lap, once the 2 ahead of him stop, Rom will inherit the race lead. He's 14 seconds ahead of Blue Flag. So these two are on completely different strategies, but both making their way to the front for now. Blue Flag, of course, running long. He did 14 laps on his first stint. I'll be expecting him to go to lap 27 now, but he's got the guys behind him on more fuel, closing in fast. So Biggles is now ahead of Pagani, although Biggles only has half a tank versus Pagani is nearly full, nearly 7/8. So right, it's lap 24. Oh, we are a third of the way through this race. Cheers. How did Aaron and Pagani end up in the same part of the track so often in these races? Honestly, insane. Alright. We have got the 2 leaders into the pits. Ross and Homer. Ross has got a huge lead. But he is not going to quite keep this lead, although of course he'll have a big advantage over Ron when he comes out in terms of fuel. He is fueling close to the top this time. Ron comes through to take the race lead. Ross fuels right to the brim. And it's... who have we got coming along the start-finish straight? I can't tell. The game's throwing an absolute shit fit. Oh, here we go. There's somebody behind. What? Is he being lapped? Oh, it's Mikey being lapped. Hello, Mikey. Lovely stuff. Oh. What's going on? I've been told to look in the Discord. Hang on. Right. Tom's genuinely going. This was genuinely going this time. Once again, safe flight if the plane actually makes it off the ground. His phone's on 1%. Fingers crossed he actually makes it back from Italy, you know, today. Oh dear. Okay. Right, Rom is in the lead 7.5 seconds clear of Ross. So Ross does have obviously the big fuel advantage, having just come out the pits. Blue Flag is still there, but now he's starting to hold up a queue of people behind him. First among which is Biggles, just ahead of Pagani. Pagani's on the charge on much fresher tyres. He's going to make the move here, is he? Yes, he is. Down the inside of Biggles he goes. Does he get it stopped? Yes, indeed. Nice move from Pagani. He slots in behind teammate Blue Flag. Biggles is and side by side with Aaron coming out of the final corner. Aaron's made the move around the outside. Lovely, lovely pass there. Where's Blue Flag going? Blue Flag's getting... is he getting out the way? Is he going to get out the way? Is Pagani going to go for it anyway? Yeah, Blue Flag lets Pagani through. And now he will do his best. And there is no one better to hold up Biggles behind. These two running P3, P4 at the minute. Biggles and Aaron still fighting. Dangerous corner to fight round. Blue flag going defensive? Surely not. Watch them filter through. Is Aaron going to find a way past blue flag this time? I wouldn't bank on that Subaru. Up the hill though. He's got good overspeed coming out of the corner, but he might still not be able to make it. Yeah, blue flag's already going the same speed as Aaron. That Subaru, seriously. Is he going to be able to make the move? He's going to try. We'll go on board. He has got. He's good under the brakes. Gets it right to the inside. Absolutely perfect. Nothing blue flag could do that time. And now he's trying to hold up Biggles. Aaron switched through into P4. This is bad news for Team Only Mans. Andy is ahead of Lee Cole. Meanwhile, Butts on a completely different strategy. Both on the hard tyres. Lee has a lot more fuel, half tank more fuel than Andy, so he will come back out ahead. FIBA is currently running P7. Hanging on to the back of Biggles just about. I think those battles have enabled him to catch up a little bit. He's going to need to do some damage to Aaron though. He's going to have to get ahead of him at least with the half points. Any way through Biggles. Just getting nice and wide here. Just try and keep as much speed as possible through this corner without getting wide, because you have to get back round to the outside here. And then as close as you can to the edge, up into fourth gear. Eventually. There it is. Now, on the long run down, Biggles has got good speed. He's going to breeze past the Peugeot here. There he goes. Can't. Has he got a passenger? Why can't I see anything out of the passenger side window? Oh, it's just the seat. Who's carrying a passenger for a minute? Oh, T. Smith is still in the chat. Will you fuck off? Biggles has got the move done. FIBA is right there as well. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Everyone's okay. I think Biggles broke a bit earlier than blue flag was expecting. I'll be surprised if that plane's got any fuel left. Right, so Biggles has made his way over into P5, but he's dropped 3.5 seconds to Aaron now. It's really allowed Aaron to get away. And now Aaron is going after Pagani. We know the Subaru's got good pace. We've said it before. What sort of time are we looking at here? This is going to be a 151 on the mediums. 151.3 from Aaron. Lovely lap. Pagani can't match that. He did set his best lap. Just a lap previous. 151.7 though. So he's not able to match. He's been very consistent, Pagani. He's not able to match Aaron's times. So now, we're going to see an old school FTRL battle. Let's go on board. It looked like Aaron was going to get a better launch out of the corner there, but he hasn't really. He's got a little bit, but once again, straight line speed means it's undoing. He's not going to get there in time for a move. Or is he? He's going to send it late. Oh, he is. I think Pagani thought better of making a battle of it. He's thinking about the long game. You can see him easing off the throttle before that corner. And perhaps Pagani looking for a bit of a turn, a bit of fuel saving off Aaron, and that is if he can stay in touch though. We will see. So Rom's still in the lead. He will be pitting within the next 1 or 2 laps though. So that will be lap 29/lap 30 for Rom. Ross has the capacity to go on a fair bit longer, and FIBA is the latest into the pits. So from P6, he's got Graham, Homer, Andy, and potentially Lee to overtake him. Lee's been running all right, but just not quite had the pace. He's on the hard tyres now. He's not quite had the pace, but he's doing all right. In the 153s for the hards, which is not bad at all. Sliding it around that left-hander. Get as much power as possible out of there. Andy and Phoebe are both in. That will promote Lee back to P8. He is still behind Homer, still behind Graham. And then Biggles is on a different strategy. Really close to the inside. Biggles, there's what you need to do. Just ticks over into the red line. Is this going to be the lap where he hits the pits, or is he able to push it for one more lap? Ooh, going on ahead. It's still happening. In fact, it's Mikey getting involved. Getting out of the way, in fact. Pagani is not letting Aaron go. So this may have been a good move on Pagani's part. He did pretty much let Aaron pass the other lap. Could only assume that the intention there was just hang on to the back, benefit from the slipstream, save a bit of fuel, and he looks to be doing that in a minute. Meanwhile, Ross is 10.5 seconds ahead, and Rom, who is going around for one more lap, leads by nearly 6 seconds. Well, really fires it around that first sector, barely letting off throttle at all, just a little bit at the end there. Rom on the mediums does not have the pace of the two behind him, and of Ross especially. Aaron needs another one of those low 51s if he wants to shake the man behind him. Get a little wide out of there, but he's okay. Biggles will be in at the end of this lap. Graham and Homer, meanwhile, will still be going, as will Phoebe, who's got nearly a full tank of fuel. Phoebe's come out just ahead of Lee. Now, what's Phoebe going to do? Phoebe only gets half points, remember. Lee gets a full complement of points from wherever he finishes. Is there any sense? Lee's on the hard tyres. Phoebe's pulling away. I was thinking, is there any sense in him just trying to pull Lee along? But I don't think so. Probably not worth it. Hard tyres are so tricky around this sector. Got to make sure you don't get on the power too early, especially if you're running no traction control like Lee. Rom's in the pits. Ross inherits the race lead. Let's go for a lap. Why not? Everybody's peeling into the pits. We'll see how that figures out. See Ross, not like most, not quite full throttle, especially on the medium tyres around there. You've got to get slowed very gradually around here to get fast time. Just trail braking all the way in is the ideal way to go. If you brake too early, you just lose all pace. If you brake too late, you get spat out the outside and you may well spin it out. And then down here, get as far as you can to the left and then swing it back across, back on the throttle as soon as possible, and then as close to the inside as you can and straight back on the power. Gee, oh, that's perfect. Perfect from Ross. Got as close as he could to the outside, and now it's all the way up the hill. Hamster wheel inside that Subaru is running full pelt as we reach the top and gets spat back out into the sunlight. And then just about the time after this yellow sign, you hit the brakes and get close to the inside and power out. Nicely done again, and that is a 109. That's a good lap so far from Ross. sweeping through the uphill section and hitting the brakes just at the crest as you turn right, and then right close to the fence on the outside, and then back across. Just brake fairly late for this corner just to get the turn in, and then get back on the power. And that leads you on the run down to the final chicane, which for most I would say is taken in first gear. Ross is going to stay in second. Gets it turned nicely anyway, and then very gentle on the power here until you get it straight and then back out, and it's going to be a good lap. So we are looking for another decent 151, and it's 151.7, as have been Ross's previous 2 laps. Look at that. 151.733, 151.778, 151.733. So a shameful loss of 400ths of a second in between the bookends of 2 identical times from Ross. Disgraceful. Goy wants to know, did Biggles go 10.6 and now 14? I have no idea, I'm sure. I trust that Biggles knows what he's doing when it comes to strategy. He's back at MP10, and he's got more fuel than Blue Flag and a lot more fuel than Lee. So he'll be seeing that position right again soon. However, I would say Rom is probably his benchmark. Currently, he's 25 seconds behind Rom. He's got nearly a full tank himself, so I think any chance of Biggles making a storming comeback for this driver's title are going out the window, and what he really has to worry about now is this, and that is Aaron ahead of Pagani, which was not the case last time we looked, ahead of Pagani in P2. Now Aaron's close to pitting, as is Pagani. Ross is a little further ahead than both of them and already 12 seconds up the road, so really is all coming Ross's way right now. Be a good victory for him. He's had a very up and down season as Ross, let's say. Currently sitting E6 in the championship. He actually won the first endurance race at St. Croix in week 2. But that has been his only win this season. He's come close a couple more times, and I think you find most weeks he's been one of the best on pace, but he's had a number of incidents. At the minute, touch wood, seems to be pretty comfortable around here. But a number of spins, number of accidents, number of incidents across the weeks have cost him. Mainly the sprint races, by the look of it. Grand Valley in particular in week 8 was a particular low point for him. However, with a win here, could still catapult him up to P5 in the table. And indeed, Tom Duval, unfortunately, with that lag out, is just ahead of him. That's a shame, because Tom has had a really, really good season in GT1. He's going to slip down now with that lag out. He would hope, and I think he won't slip down any lower than 7th. In fact, Unsafe Release isn't racing either, is he? So he won't slip below him. Yeah, he should still maintain P6, Tom, if you're listening, which is a fantastic performance for a GT1 season. Yeah, that's Ross. We're having we're approaching the midpoint of the race. We're having a little run through the drivers, just have a little bit of a look back how they've done. Aaron has, I think, just got better and better throughout the season. He had a pretty horrific first week at Dragon Trail. A grand total of 13 points off 3 races, which put him near the bottom of the pile. As we see him just pitting out, just ahead of Pagani. Pagani's done well to hang on there. Aaron looked at one point as he was getting away. But Pagani's hung on to the back of him, and that may well prove to be a good decision, because he might jump Aaron in the pits here. They're both fueled to the top, he definitely will. Homer is coming round the final corner. The 2 ahead of him aren't fueling yet, so Homer is going to inherit P2. He's driven well so far. Yeah, Aaron had a pretty shocking first week, as we said, but then backed that up with a good performance in the endurance race the week after, P3. and then went on for his first race win in week 4, the Alsatian Sprint. And up until a fantastic performance at Spa, where he just about managed to hold off once again Pagani. That was his second win of the season. Now, with this performance, he could well be in with a shout at P2 in the driver's title. Biggles is currently 8th, setting a 152 there. Biggles is 1 minute off the lead. Aaron is 54 seconds off the lead, so there's not a huge gap. Although Biggles has got less fuel, so he's going to have to do it on lap times at the moment. Whoa. See Fever being spat out of the tunnel there. Fever's doing well here. He's adapted to Lamborghini pretty well, and he's setting 151s on the medium tyres. There's still a chance for a really good result here for Fever. He's right on the back of Aaron and Pagani. Super consistency as well, and that is what you're looking for in a race like this. 51.7, 51.8, 51.999, and a 51.9 from Fever, and he's looking to make the move on Aaron here. Down into the sweeping left-hander. Gets it done. Nice work from Fever. Aaron on the harder compound tyres didn't fight it too much. Fever is now setting off after Pagani. Might prove a slightly tougher prospect. Pagani, it did indeed jump Aaron in the pits, and is now on the mediums versus the hard tyres of Aaron, so Pagani will be looking to stretch that gap once again, having been caught earlier in the race. Omer's still going. He'll be in a couple of laps, but still P2. Ross is so far ahead. I mean, I'm not quite sure how the pit strategies are going to work out come the end, so it's not all over by any means. We're only not even halfway through. But having said that, even a pit stop down, a 35-second lead over Rom. He was hanging onto the back of Pagani. Sorry, Aaron is slipping back just a little out of slipstream range. Biflex still going there. P7 is driving well. He's got Biggles gaining on him though. Caught him by about 9/10 on that last lap. What an absolute revelation Biggles has been this season. I mean, I know we say the choices of cars and the various, decisions that people made and choices they got will have affected finishing order this season as it was intended to, but you don't get to be top of GT1 as many weeks as Biggles had without some serious driving and some serious strategy to boot, and that's exactly what he's done. A grand total of 4 wins throughout the season, but crucially, consistently high finishes behind that as well. Second in the endurance race in week 2, second in the endurance race in week 7. A number of decent sprint finishes, a couple where he had a few moments. It's so difficult to, score, get podiums consistently, even finish in the top 5 consistently in this league. He's done a really, really good job. But he needs quite a lot more, and he needs a big slip up from Pagani if he's going to hold on, unfortunately. It just got away from him last week at Spa. He finished right towards the back in the sprint race, and then in the second endurance race didn't finish too well either. Oh, he's gone. He's off. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Oh, and he's round. Oh, my word. Oh, no. And here comes Mikey to unlap him just to really rub salt in the wounds. No, it's alright. It's not going to happen. He's been spared from that at least. Oh, just as we were talking about the issues Biggles had at Spa last week, he's gone and thrown one in this evening. And honestly, I really think that is the first accident we've seen tonight in 36 laps. So he's going to have to get his head back on. Still a chance against Aaron. He's still got the points advantage. Aaron is P6. Biggles is P8. As it stands, that means... Oh, I've forgotten. Let's have a look back. I think that means Aaron would overtake him by a point. It would indeed. So Aaron would overtake Biggles by 1 point if we finished as it stands. If the team's finished as it stands, well, let's have a look. Why not? We've got Aaron in P6, Andy currently running in P11, Lee is P12, and Phoebe is P5. So as it stands, Team Tom's taking the title by a reasonably significant margin, 15 points. However, it's not the greatest time to be doing this. Everyone's still on different strategies. We're only halfway through the race. We're only really going to see it when it gets towards the last couple of stops. Ross is just coming out of the pits on the medium tyres once again, just as Homer comes into the pits to change tyres. And Ross, with a fresh set of boots and a full tank of fuel, is just 6 seconds behind Brom. I think Ross has played this pretty spot on so far. Does he still have the soft tyres to go? I can't remember. I don't think he's run the soft tyres. Seems he's got to make a little bit of adjustment to his strategy. We're bang on halfway through the race, lap 37 of 72. So he's not going to be able to run it quite the same if he does indeed have the softs to go. But we shall see. Right, where were we? We were having a little run through everyone. Oh, what do we have going on there? No, it's just Homer lapping Mikey. No bother. Graham. Will Graham be happy with this season? Again, I think we're looking a little bit at car choice. Available, cars that were available at the time. Graham had a fantastic season 24. It may have hampered him slightly with choice of car this season. Currently sitting P8 in the Drivers' Championship. He will overtake Unsafe Release, who's not racing tonight. Almost certainly, because he's only a few points back. But Graham's had... I don't think he will be happy, and that's probably a reflection of his high standards more than anything else. He's driven pretty well most weeks. He's been pretty consistent, but just not been able to find the pace, wring it out of that Jaguar. Suffered a bit in a couple of the sprint races as well. So a middling season for Graham, and he'll be back on it next season, I'm sure, and challenging right up there. I have to say, blue flag. Oh, we've got a penalty there. Who's got a penalty? Brom's got a penalty. Why has he got a penalty? That was silly. He'll be serving it at the end of the lap down the start-finish straight, and Ross is gaining rapidly already. That gap was 6 odd seconds when he came out of the pits, so it won't be too long. I would hazard a guess, say, before we see Ross back in the lead of this race. Bieber, meanwhile, he's not got anywhere near as much fuel. He's still clinging on. You can still see the rear lights of Pagani not too far away. He may be only man's best hope at this stage. We will see. Tell you what, Blue Flag I think will be happy with his season. Past few seasons sort of bouncing between GT1, GT2. He has had an occasional tough season in GT1, but currently sitting P9. In particular, he will be finishing ahead of T. Smith, so I'm sure he'll be pleased with that. We won't mention the fact that Tom's missed half the races this season. That would be unfair. But yeah, Blue Flag's had a good few results, including, I believe. Let me just double check, make sure I'm not talking absolute crap. Indeed, a win. The third race at Grand Valley, only a couple of weeks ago. So a good season for him, and he will definitely be back and competing next season. Homer, a lot more up and down, I would say. He's had some good results, he's had some poor results. Definitely got the pace there. He He did himself get a win. That was race 1 in Grand Valley, which is all the more impressive for it being race 1 after the qualifying. So he's grabbing himself a win as well. One of, I think is it 10 winners this season? I believe it is. May even be 11. Yeah, we've had 11 winners this season in GT1. That is absolutely astonishing. Can you believe that? 11 winners. I think that's got to be the most we've ever had. So yeah, as I said, a bit up and down for Homer this season. I think he was praying for a bit more rain, in all honesty. And Lee, I think Lee has definitely suffered from the car. It's not been his favourite. He's had a couple of good results, but no win, unfortunately. The Jaguar, perhaps not to his liking. I'm sure he'll be... Does he get to go back in the Nissan next season? I'm not sure if it's on the list. If it is, I'm sure he'll be back there. And then... Ooh, well, Rom is having a... Rom's our final runner that we've got to go through in the league table. Because he's down in P14. He's had people standing for a couple of weeks for him, so he's lost a few points there. He did get a win week 1 in Sardinia. It's just been extremely erratic from Rom. As you can see, he's leading this race right now. So he's clearly got the pace. He's clearly able to find something in that Renault. Maybe it's track dependent, I don't know. But I think, weirdly, it's the endurance races where he's suffered the most. And this one just seems to be suiting him a little bit better. He's going to really struggle to beat Ross here and actually get the win. But I think Pagani and Aaron, it's going to be close between those three, I think. So I think it's going to be a podium battle between Rom, Pagani, and Aaron, barring any incidents. Ross looks to be clear as it stands, but you never know. Especially with Ross, you never know. Well. You know what? Get me some comments in the chat. What's been your favourite moment this season? FIFA says he's sweating like a pig. It's bloody warm, I'll tell you that. A lot warmer than yesterday. I'm glad I'm not racing today. One of these days, I'll try and step in for a race and do a live commentary while racing. We'll see how that goes. To be fair, I've always been an advocate of ever since they introduced it. I've always been an advocate of if we get a dropout from the racing, we've got a space as we do tonight. I've always been an advocate of having the ambulance as a safety car. Just to trundle it around the track and just arrive at the scene of the accident whenever anyone crashes. I nearly did it once in GT3. Zom says his favourite moment was his win at Daytona. Did we even do Daytona? Oh yeah, we did. So I thought you'd had some sort of moment there and we're making it up. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, that's got to be your moment, absolutely. And I think that's been the best thing about this season. We've had so many different winners. Every different track has given different people an opportunity. The format has given different people an opportunity. I think the F1 qualifying format that we've done on occasional weeks has been really good. It's really added something. It's alright, I didn't think you were making it up. Okay, Ross is closing in, now just 2 seconds back to Rom. Garney's pulled out an 8-second lead over Aaron in this stint, so Aaron really worked the time back in the previous runs, but he's now slipped back a lot. I think it's just Pagani's pace. It is, yeah, mid-51s on the mediums. Aaron is doing well on the hard, very well on the hards, but can still only manage mid to low 52s. Don wants to know, where is Andy? Where is Andy? He's P12. Don't worry. Not going to be losing... He's not going to be sitting back to P13 anytime soon. Mike is busy being blue flagged. In all fairness, Mike already did a 2+ hour race last night, so credit to him for stepping in. Dusty Frost was still holding P11. And Lee is P10, and this is the key for the constructors. Lee needs to make some more progress here. Blue flag's ahead of him on a full tank of fuel, so he's not going to be getting past him. Oh, there's not a lot of options. I think, to be honest, Lee's going to need somebody to have a moment. The only one we have seen have a moment is Biggles, but he's still running in 5th. Just past Homer, or just staying ahead of Homer anyway. Critically for Biggles, he's now only, one place behind Aaron. He's just had a bit of a bank slapper there on the exit to the right-hander. He's okay. That is all Biggles needs. However, a Homer just behind him, a lot more fuel. Biggles just needs a little bit more to hold on to P2 in the Drivers' Championship. Ooh. Right, Rom is finally into the pits. He managed to hold his lead the entire stint, but now Ross is going to assume that lead once again. Here he comes. A 152 flat. Yes, Derek's mentioned the Alsacci test course qualifying. That was brilliant. I love that. I love that test course. It's mental. I don't even get it with reference to the main course. Like, is it completely separate? I really don't know. I just thought, I know. A racetrack, but it's a roller coaster. Hey, I just saw a drone on the stream. What's that about? Pagani P2, Aaron P3. Biggles just comes out ahead of Rom. So Biggles and Homer just out ahead of Rom. Rom out on fresh mediums. Biggles will soon be pitting. So Rom should find himself past these two reasonably soon. I don't think Homer, being his teammate, will put up too much of a fight. Yeah, I didn't step in that week, but I imagine VR in the house actually would be pretty interesting. Where's Fever? Fever's currently 8th, chasing down Graham. Graham's got a lot less fuel, a lot less. Fever's on for a decent result here. However, with Aaron running P3, not going to be enough. It just isn't. And he's currently being blue flagged. Somebody, well, I don't know why he's being blue flagged, because who's behind him? See how Andy takes his first sector. Down his 4th breather to make the corner. It's the curb again. Nicely done. And then really tight to the inside. Back on the power. I think the blue flags are a little bit harsh, considering he's at least sort of 4 seconds ahead of the person behind him. Aaron's in the pits. 1 lap ahead of Pagani. So Aaron chosen to pit a lap earlier. This is lap 44. So after this, 28 laps to go. 2 14s? Maybe? Probably not. Probably not. You never know. Let's see if he fills the top. He does not. Aaron's out on the softs. He's not used to softs yet. So it'll be this soft stint as Aaron comes out just behind Fever and Graham. This soft tyre stint in which Aaron will look to make up some time. And then 2 more runs after that. Mikey's gaining. Go on, Mikey. Get him. Get him. drone again. Feber is right up behind Graham. Graham's going to be in the pit soon, but I don't know if Feber knows that. We're going to try and pass him on track. He's got a good exit. As that Lamborghini got the pace over the Jaguar. He is gaining slowly, but it should be enough. He makes the move. Pagani enters the pits meanwhile. Jones is saying Pagani on track to finally win another title. It looks like it. I don't know when his last one was. Someone will have to fill me in. It was a while ago. A bit of a redemption arc going on here. He really has driven that Ferrari out of its skin at times this season. He's got the move done on Graham and it's just fired away from him. Probably best that he did because he's gained a second just by virtue of being able to get past him, and Graham lets Aaron go as well as he peels off into the pits. So this will be an interesting battle now. Feber on the mediums, Aaron on the softs. He'll have a few laps to get past him. Ooh, that was a bit late. He'll have a few laps to get past him before the tyres start to go off. He's lost at least half a second there. How's it looking team-wise, said Dom? Right now, well, let's wait till these particular pit stops settle out. I want to see where Lee is. Lee's coming in the pits. So yeah, let's see how that filters out. And in a lap or so's time, we'll have a look at the team standings. Yeah, it's true, Joe. He was winning them for fun around the time I joined, but that was season 5, so it's been a while. Yeah, he's well and truly back. It's Pagani. Ross coming up to menace Andy. Driven a hell of a race so far as Ross. Pace has just been so good. Consistently in the 151s. He's almost once again set the fastest lap of the race on the medium tyres a few laps ago with the 151.1. I want to see some better laps than that on the soft tyres then when people get onto them. Come on lads, I set a 150.3 last night. So Homer just for a second there had to think about a massive lunge on his teammate and then unfortunately thought better of it. Aaron's behind Feber. These two are very similar on fuel. Feber is in this fight. Absolutely. We know how well he drove last night. He was far clear of the GT2 field, so not a surprise to see him up there even with a different car. What time are we looking at on the soft tyres here from Aaron? Is it going to be a fast lap of the race? It is. 150.7 pretty much from Aaron. He will be gaining on Pagani again. He's already passed him, but Pagani obviously already out the pit, so Aaron needs to make as much time as possible here. Oh, big slide from Feber. That may give Aaron an opportunity. He's going to go wide and then look to cut back. There's a bit of contact. He's going to have to let Feber go. He's going to go for the move at the next corner. Round the outside. Oh, more contact. Aaron's okay though, and he's into P4. That would have cost him some time. Pagani is right there once again. That little battle could make all the difference come the end of the race. A long way to go, however. Another 26 laps remain. Woof. It's an interesting strategic battle. Being absolutely ruined by Ross romping away at the front so far. Pagani got here. Can he find a way past Feber? Feber on the hard tyres? No, Feber's on the mediums as well. Aaron on the softs. Meanwhile, Zorm is absolutely right in the chat. Hit the like button, please. We'll have a big push towards the start of next season. Get as many people as possible in. Tell all your friends, tell your family, tell your weird uncle. No dice for Pagani on this lap. However, a 151.4 puts him right in the picture again, and Aaron is not getting the benefit of these soft tyres at the minute. He's got a lot less fuel than Pagani as well. At the minute, advantage Pagani in this little recurring mini battle that we see once again. I am hanging on for lap 48 because that's when I'm going to open my next beer. Ross is doing so well. He's due to come into the pits soon, but he's got a 36-second lead over Rom, who's not got a full tank of fuel himself. Homer behind is close to pitting as well. And the Aaron, Fever and Pagani, these three, and at the minute that looks like advantage Pagani. Blue flag still pushes on his strategy in P7. However, it looks like Biggles may be closing in and potentially getting past him, maybe slightly further towards the end of the race. Oh my god, we've lost the stream. The hell's gone on? Oh, we're back. Well, that woke me up. Dusty Foster's doing really well. P9 at the minute. Graham is not too far behind him. Andy's up to P11. What's happened to Lee? Oh, Lee pitted not that long ago, so he's come out behind Andy. Recently set his fastest lap of the race, 152.4 on the mediums. He'll be gaining again soon. I said we do the teams totals, didn't I? Let's have a look. Aaron currently running in 4th. Andy currently running in 11th. He is 12th. Bieber is 5th. Oh, it is more than comfortable for Team Toms at the minute. P. Smith will be sat on that runway, punching the air with delight at the moment. Bieber's doing okay, but he's still behind Aaron. Aaron's scoring 4 points. It would be a lot closer battle if the GT2 stand-ins were scoring 4 points, but that is not how it works. At the minute, it is Team Toms to lose. Our race leader is into the pits. He's keeping it very consistent. End of lap 48. 2/3 of the way through this race. He was in at halfway as well, so Ross is in the pits once again. My earbud has just fell out of my ear, so I can't hear what's going on. Oh, come here, you bastard. Bloody hell. Okay, Rom reassumes the race lead once again. Although in all reality, it is not going to stay that way for him. In fact, Ross has come out just 5 seconds behind him. And just ahead of Homer as well, who is he even going to get round this lap? Okay, we're going to stay on board with Homer here, because I get the feeling he may have pushed it a little bit too far, or just forgotten to pit. Because that fuel gauge is not looking positive. Homer, how much fuel do you have left? I don't... Yeah, I think he's realised, because he's short-shifting the shit out of it. It needs to be more. I'm going to be honest, Homer. It needs to be more. You're going to run out of fuel, mate. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, no, he's still going. Let off the throttle now, Homer. This is a horrible mistake. What has happened? What has happened here? Surely. Has he got any left? He's still going. Oh, God, he's out of fuel. Oh, my word. What a disaster this is. I mean, be glad So this isn't for the team's title or the driver's title because he really balls this up. Homer's run out of fuel. Oh, he's ghosted. How is he ghosted? I was sure that was going to be a massive accident there. So Fever, Pagani and Aaron go through. Homer has made a complete cock-up of the highest order. Just watching those big eyes on the helmet just glide into the pits at 50 mile an hour. Blue flag is getting rapidly closer. Homer must have lost about 20 seconds here. And he's not done yet because it's actually a long way into that pits before you actually hit the line. Here comes blue flag round the corner. I think. Dear. So Homer's into the pits finally. Deary me. Where's that going to put him? It's certainly going to put him behind Biggles, Graham, and maybe even Andy. Probably not Andy. Certainly behind Graham. Biggles is now up into P7. He is now 2 positions behind Aaron. Aaron's got Pagani a second and a half ahead of him. Aaron is... Ooh, he's on the verge of pitting. So this is where the strategies start to filter out. And I think Biggles is still in with a decent chance here of P2 in the Drivers' Championship. Aaron said in one of the chats that he was going to try his absolute best tonight, which sort of implies he's not been trying his best in the previous weeks, but I think he has on some occasions. He's certainly not made the mistake that Homer has. He's going to have just enough fuel left to get back to the points. Pagani's going a fair way further though, so this is all going to come down to strategy. There'll be 22 laps left after this, so that means Pagani is... Ooh, I don't know, has he still got to run the soft tyres? There'll be 2 more stops in this for Pagani still, so this may not be over in terms of this fight. Bieber's into the pits as well, so these 2 are going to be in. Pagani's going to carry on for a good while yet. Rossi is 14 seconds up the road and going well. Rom is 5 seconds ahead of him. Rom has got the... Well, he did have the pace. He had the pace until the last lap where he threw in a 52.7. And those sort of off laps might be crucial. I mean, this is Auto Trader in their, am I going to call it a battle? No, not really. Auto Trader are nearly 70 points ahead of Team Quick Fit, so with Rom currently in the race, I think they're okay for the vaunted P4 in the Constructors' Championship. I'm really happy and impressed with how close it's been, to be honest. Yes, there's a bit of a gap between 4th and 3rd, 200 points. But beyond that, there's been a decent battle between 4th and 5th, and a really, really close, sort of tight contest between the top 3 as well. It wasn't that long ago, I'm sure, that Team Tours were leading. In fact, it was week 5. It was quite a while ago. They've slipped back a bit since then. I don't know why they've had some good results. I don't know why they've slipped back so, so dramatically, in all honesty. Not managed to get the results in the second half of the season, really. Oh, Feber is giving me live race updates in the chat while he's racing. Tell me that Aaron spun at the end of Sector 1. On his outlap, presumably. And that is why he is currently behind Feber, so that makes all the difference. And that could really help Biggles, so we could be in for a real fight for at least P2 in the Drivers' Championship towards the end of this race. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get the grandstand constructors finish that we were hoping for, even with Tom Durrell dropping out. I blame Lennon entirely. Honestly, if Lennon was in this race, it would have been razor thin, the margins. So close. But never mind, I'm sure it can't be helped. I don't want to blame it. So now that means Biggles is P5, Fever in 6th, Aaron now in 7th. A good. Oh, he's way behind Pagani. I know Pagani hasn't pitted yet, but he's still got a way to go. Pagani is closing into, I believe he's just lapping someone. Yeah, he's coming up to lap Andy. Rom's not dropped really that much time to Ross. I'm still just sort of. Yeah, Ross is going to have to do. I'm sorry, Rom is going to have to do an extra stop. To briefly think about his fuel and his pit stops versus Pagani's, but no, he's going to have to do an extra stop compared to Ross and. Oh, just compared to Ross, actually. Yeah, Ross has got this sewn up, hasn't he? Incredible performance. I swear to God, like, regardless of the tyres he's been on, he's either been doing 51s or 52s. Super rapid. Here comes another 51, 51.5 on the mediums. Subaru is a beast round here. On blue flag, although he's due to come into the pits next lap, he's currently running P4. Good job from him. I just had a momentary thought then about the gap for Team Tools. But unfortunately, I've just remembered the other driver in Mikey. Sorry, Mike. It's good points for them, though. It is good points. They were 57 points behind or something like that, and they're going to get. If you took, I know it probably won't happen, but if you took the finishing positions as they are now, they get a P3 and a P4, which is good points, but it's not quite enough compared to the others. In fact, it's nowhere near enough. Nonetheless, just in case, I'm going to add them into the spreadsheet. Apologies if the stream goes slightly haywire once more. Oh, leads up to P10. Going well. P6. Aaron is. Where's Aaron? Oh, he's now P7, is Aaron? Of course, Andy currently running in P12. Oh, you know what? It's closed up a bit with the current positions. Although blue flag is just pitting. So ignoring that, if we ignore that for now, Aaron was P7. On that basis, Team Toms and Team Onlyman's are currently scoring the exact same number of constructors' points. So that only leaves Team Toms with their 6-point original advantage from the start of the night. It has got, with that incident for Aaron, a lot closer, and it just shows how dependent this is on Aaron's results, with him getting full points compared to Andy's half and Phoebe's half. Lee as well. Lee improving to P10. Blue flag currently in the pits. He will be okay versus Lee. But Lee has got past Dusty by a fair amount, as well as Andy. He's only 10 seconds. He's 10 seconds behind Homer as well. And Lee's going to have to rely on a few more mistakes. But if those do come, it's not necessarily all over. Rom now enters the pit. Pagani's not too far off as well. Biggles doing slightly better on the fuel, but not as well as Fever. Biggles has made his way ahead of Fever, and Biggles has currently taken control in terms of the battle for P2 in the Drivers' Championship. Ooh. the thing with these endurance races. It's what makes them so interesting. You never quite know how things are going to change. All it takes is one mistake, and it's a long, long time to go without a mistake. Rom is coming out of the pits now. He's still ahead of Biggles. And Rom is going to continue in P3. That does promote Pagani to second. Blue flag doing? Probably not too far ahead of Lee, although Lee will be in the pits pretty soon. So all the pit stops are filtered out. Fever is P5. Aaron P6. Fever's driving such a good race here. He'll have Biggles in his sights. Probably not Rom. I think, in all honesty, Rom's not long pitted. Garney is about to pit, so with just 21 seconds between them, at the minute it's looking like Ross P1 and Rom P2. Garney will be dropping to at least third, but Biggles ain't that far behind either. Completely different strategies though, and this is interesting for Pagani, because I don't think he's used the soft tyres yet. It's lap 55 already, which means there's only, what's that, 16 laps after this? 17 laps, sorry. 17 laps to the end of the race. And Pagani's going to have to do another stop, which means he will be going to the soft tyres. I'm pretty certain he hasn't used them yet. There'll be a last-minute sprint from Pagani to try and secure that P2, and with it, Drivers' Championship. I mean, to be honest, that's really not in any danger anyway. I think we can call that one sewn up. But nonetheless. So the fuel goes in. Rom is through. Biggles is through. Johnny's still fueling. Still fueling. Graham's in as well, right to the top. And is that going to let Aaron through as well? Ooh, just. Aaron sweeps through. He is on a fuel detriment compared to Pagani though. Pagani out on the medium tyres too. So at the minute, he looks to have got Aaron beat in this little personal battle. It's been played out so many times across 25 seasons of FTRL. Can you believe it? 25 seasons. I mean, honestly, a huge thank you to anyone who's ever been involved in, you know, setting up, running, even participating in the league. 25 seasons is a great achievement. We go into 100, no doubt about that. Some of us might be dead by then, admittedly, but nonetheless. Zom's cheerleading in the chat. At the minute, it's looking good, Zom. It is looking good. Fever's having a stunning race. He's still ahead of Aaron, but it's the half points that's killing it, unfortunately, for Fever. It is how it is. He's going to need more, though. He's going to need to overtake Biggles. Lee is going to need a minor miracle because he's back behind Dusty Fossil. Lee's going to the end, though. Or is he? No, he's probably not. I'm not sure what's happening there. Nah, Lee's got 17 laps left to do. He's not going to be going to the end. And then, well, he has been lapped. So that's going to be some serious fuel saving from Lee, but that might be the way he gets himself back into potentially P9, P10. May well make all the difference as Ross sweeps through and laps Dusty Fossil. But Lee's already been lapped. He's got a full tank of fuel, which means he's going to have 15 laps after this one. That's too much of an ask, surely. Andy's there. Andy's only 3.5 seconds behind him. So this mainly rests on Aaron's shoulders right now. Fever's run a great race. He's got a potential podium in him. Aaron is right there with him. does not want to make any more mistakes. Pagani is probably going to get past him. Homer, however, is 20 seconds back, so ruling out any huge mistakes for Aaron, that is probably enough. Nonetheless, we will head back to the spreadsheet and see exactly where we stand. I made it for a reason. Me currently P11, Fever is currently P4. Okay, yeah, so as it stands, Team Toms are going to win by 12 points. Strategies haven't quite all played out yet. Some people have got one more stop to do. Some people have potentially got no stops left to do, but they'll have to really, really push it. Everybody else, I think, does have one stop left, but varying amounts of fuel. The Biggles currently in the final podium place, but he will be pitting at the end of this lap, so he's going to lose quite a lot of time in the pits, the people behind him. Bieber, who is 3.5 seconds back, and Aaron, who is another 3.5 seconds back. And then Pagani, of course, who will be doing a splash and dash for the softs. So keep an eye out as we come into the final portion of this race for Pagani having to potentially blast his way past 2 or 3 cars to claim a podium. That is where it might get interesting. I mean, not for Pagani, because this is more than enough to soak the driver's title, but he won that podium anyway. I can't believe this drive from Ross. This is astonishing. This has got to go down as the driver of the season, surely, in the final race. I mean, we've seen some incredible drives, but just not let up. I mean, another 51 on some ailing medium tyres. Look at that. Those lap times: 51.5, 51.3, 52.0, 51.6, 51.9, 51.7. Consistently in the 151s, and nobody else has got anywhere near that. I mean, Ron running in second is hitting some 51s, but consistently dropping back. Ooh, who was that? Wheeling the tyres on the way out. That's Mikey. Keep going, Mike. Biggles is in the pits for the final time. We are now thoroughly into the final round of pit stops. Let's see where he filters out. Already been passed by Feber, Aaron, Pagani. Homer is the one to look out for. Although Homer will have to stop again, so Biggles doesn't really have to worry about him. The only reason he'll have to worry is if it causes him a traffic problem, and it's not even going to be the case, I think. Biggles only just started fueling now. Homer coming around the straight. The car behind him is Blue Flag, who presumably will have to pit again. Yeah, I think so. Biggles now fueling up as Homer goes past. Here comes Sai. Down the straights. Got to get out ahead of him. That may present Biggles with a slight problem, because Sai's got a way to go in terms of fuel. Biggles has come out just 2 seconds behind him. That may be someone he has to pass, and he is the most difficult one to pass, so could have an impact. Graham is now next to be blue flagged. I imagine that is not even Ross behind him. Where's Graham being blue flagged? Is that Ron behind him? Who knows? Not Ron. Oh, it is Ross, sorry. Yeah, that says... that's sort of testament to... Oh, Jonesy. Don't worry, Jonesy. Don't worry. Wherever the Monks Only Man drives plays, I've got a spreadsheet. It's okay. I'll update it right now for you. So Aaron is currently running in P4. Andy is currently running in P12. Lee, currently 11th. Feber is currently in the podium positions in P3. Pagani is currently running in 5th. Blue flag is 7th, and Mikey is 13th. So that leaves... Oh boy, oh yeah, that leaves Team Tom's a full 13.5 points ahead as it stands. The final pit stops have yet to filter out, so we will redo that once they have taken place. But at the minute, it is definitely Team Tom's in the driving seat, and in all honesty, it all comes down to Aaron. He is going to be passed by Pagani. I'm pretty certain of that. Pagani has such a big fuel advantage, and he's only 2.5 behind. But that's only 3 points, so it's nowhere near enough. Bieber's not going to make any progress either. He's way too far behind Rom. So in all honesty, it comes down to Lee finding a way past Dusty Fossil and potentially Graham ahead of him to make up those points. It's not looking good, I'll be honest. And I tell you what, Team Tools have put in a really decent performance today. They are a little too far back, unfortunately. They've been a bit closer. It could have been really, really interesting. However, yeah. As we can see, I'm going to use it one more time. Why not? 56.5 points is the gap. And as it stands, Team Tools are not gaining 56.5 points. They're gaining a decent amount, but they're not gaining 56.5 points. They're gaining about 30 points on Team Only Mans. In fact, exactly 30 points on Team Only Mans for P2. So that 56.5, looking at P2, if they were challenging it, they'd be looking for 50.5. They need a lot more points. So as it stands, it's down to these guys. It's down to Aaron, it's down to Lee, really, with regards to the main point scorers. And it's going to need Aaron to have some sort of massive accident in order to turn things around here. Pagani might be interested here. Not this time, but he's taking a wide line. Look to cut back in, maybe. Get a good exit. He has got a very good exit. Are they going to go side by side? Not quite. Pagani cuts back in. Can he find the room? Aaron is just about to come into the pits. He's had another slide there. Is Pagani going to make a move anyway? He doesn't know Aaron's fuel state, presumably. He's going to sit behind him, though. He's looking for a good exit again, but Aaron is going to peel off into the pits now. That is advantage Pagani as FIBA pits 2 from P3. So your front 3, with Ross having just pitted, presumably. Well, that's interesting. I don't believe Ross has used the hard tyres yet. So all of a sudden, we have ourselves a race because Ross has been in the pits. I didn't realise that he hadn't used the hard tyres, and he's decided for some reason to not do a full stint there. Having only pitted on the last lap. He hasn't used the softs either. Is that the case? I thought he'd started on the softs. See, now it's been too long a time period for me to remember. I thought Ross had started on the softs. I might have been wrong. He might have started on the mediums. But the only reason I can think of that he's had to... Oh my god, here comes Rom. Here he comes. For the race lead. Has he got it stopped? Oh, Ross is fighting back. Oh, Rom just about hangs on. Oh, Ross started on the mediums, who's still got the hards and the softs to use. Which means he's still got another pit stop to do as well. He has got more fuel than Rom, and he is going to be running the soft tyres. Of course, Rom could also run the soft tyres, which he probably will be doing with that many laps left to do. So, this could be a straight shootout for the win. I thought this was dead and buried, I'll be honest with you. I really did. think we were done in regards to the race win. Everybody behind except for Feber still has to pit. Feber's way back. Feber's 55 seconds back, so he's not going to be challenging for the win. Rom has taken the lead though and pulled away. If he can pull any more of a gap here, Ross maybe struggling a bit on the hard tyres. Rom needs to pull that gap to a few seconds at least by the time they pit. Then it could well be a straight shootout on soft tyres towards the end of the race between these two. Well. This is how these races can change. This is why we love these endurance races. Even though through a mix of late stage planning and technical incompetence, I've had to talk by myself for nearly 2.5 hours. It's my own fault. One day, the dream team of SBY and Nobby Norris will be united in the commentary booth, and we will make it happen. But it won't be this season. I seriously can't be asked to figure out a Discord chat right now. And besides, we do have a battle forming for the race win. Ross is trying to keep hold, and he is doing a decent job of it. Cutting as far as he can to the inside of that corner without getting a penalty. Very few penalties to be had on this course, really. If you completely balls it up, I think we've only seen one tonight. And Ross is maintaining that gap of just over a second now. Rom's tyres perhaps starting to go off a little bit. He will need probably 3 more laps on these mediums if he's going to be able to go onto the softs for the final stint, as Ross will be doing. Garni is 18 seconds further back. And Feber a long way back from him. We've got a battle here between Feber and Blue Flag. Oh, Blue Flag braking very late. Is Feber going to hold it? Yes, I'm absolutely sure, Nobby. Absolutely sure. We will be there one day. Oh, Blue Flag getting mighty close to the back of Feber. He does not want to give up that position. Oh, he's running a bit wide there, though, and that's going to give Feber the drive off the corner and allow him to pull away. Tune of 0.6 of a second. Don't think that Peugeot has a particularly strong straight line speed advantage. Mr. Norris saying, "You think I'm beautiful because you spent 2 days watching FTRL, spending time with me. Not fishing for compliments." No, Blue Flag's not going to be getting back at Feber. Oh, Biggles, where the hell did you come from? Okay, there he is. Arrives out of nowhere to challenge Blue Flag for P5. Of course, Biggles is, he's going to the end on his fuel, so he will overtake Biggles, Blue Flag regardless. Sorry, he's going to be going after Feber in all honesty and trying to get P4. Looks as if, to be honest, that one incident has cost Aaron. He's 3 seconds behind Biggles, but he needs more than that. He needs an extra position. And at the minute, that can only really come from Feber. So we've got the race for the lead as we come into the last sort of 7-8 laps of this race. We've got the race for the lead. Ron now has a 1.7 second advantage over Ross, but he has less fuel. Both of these guys will almost certainly be going on to soft tyres. What is that photographer doing there? I'm going to hold on with Pagani because I want to see that ludicrous photographer again, just perched on a rock. What are you doing there? There's going to be so many good photography opportunities and spaces around this track. If he pops up again. I think we missed him that time. Anyway, whoever it is, he's a fucking lunatic. Anyway, what was I saying? Sorry. Ross is coming back. Oh no, we've lost Lee! Lee! Oh, that's it. That's game over for the constructors. There was never a great chance, but Lee has just disappeared from the lobby. And Mikey gets ever closer to P11, despite being 5 minutes behind. Well, that's it then, isn't it? That is it. All my spreadsheet work was for nothing. I can only assume that Lee has been murdered by one of his cats. Well, nonetheless, I think you can probably call it there in terms of a constructor's victory. Team Toms. Oh, hello. Biggles making the move around the outside. Oh, lovely move. Has he got it stopped? Oh, Blue Flag's fighting back. Oh, he's got it. Has he got it? No. He's still there. Yes, Biggles has got it done just about. Really well battled. Really clean as well. It's a really good clean driving and overtakes tonight. Really nice work. Aaron is right there as well, though. He's not giving this up. Does need to finish 2 places ahead of Biggles. What's happened? Got a notification. I'm presuming it's Lee. Oh no, it has cut out. He's disconnected. Oh, that's horrendous. Horrendous luck. Oh man. Well, if it's any consolation, Lee, if you're listening, I don't think you're in with a chance anyway. That is annoying though. That's very annoying. We've still got some battles going on. Rom is on the verge of coming into the pits. Ross may be able to go another lap if he wants to. Does he want to? No, he does not. So Rom is in 2.5 seconds clear, but with 10 litres less fuel. I think that equates to, I can't remember the refueling speed. I think it might 5 versus 3. Oh, either way, they're going to be within a second of each other. Garney is into the pits as well. Feber is going to carry on, but he's so far behind, he's not in trouble, these guys. But let's see how this works out. We've currently got Feber P4, Biggles P5, 4.5 seconds back. He is 2.5 seconds ahead of Aaron. Aaron needs 2 places on Biggles. Take P2 in the Driver Championship. Fuel is going in. Oh, they're both quite on the hard. Oh, soft tyres. Hard. Oh, Ron wasn't using the hard tyres. Well, they both fuel. In fact, Ross has fueled more than Ron, which means he's still come out 2 seconds behind, but there is a big tyre difference there. Ron still has to use the hards. And now he's going to have to do 6 laps on the hard tyres with only a 2-second gap to Ross, who's on the softs. He's going to have to pull off a genuine miracle to make this work, is Ron. Garney is out on the soft as well. Bieber, to be fair, not as far behind as I thought he was. He's only 3 seconds off Pagani, but again, Pagani's shown decent pace, and on the soft tyres, you'd expect him to at least maintain that gap and come home with a podium. But now here's the real battle. Biggles P5. Aaron P6. Aaron is closing the gap. Biggles has got a lot less fuel as well. Aaron's going to have to give it the full beans here. Homer currently in 7th. Blue Flag is just coming out the pits in P8. Graham is just coming into the pits in P9, which... is that going to promote Dusty Fossil? No. Graham's going to secure P9, I think. There is a question. Let's be really mean. Delete Lee from the spreadsheet. What does that do? Team Tools. Garney's 3rd. Blue Flag is 8th. Mikey is now up to a lofty P12. Ooh. They have gained, as it stands. Oh, Phoebe's P4. I mean, Team Onlyman's are down to 1.5 points driver. Team Tools are going to gain 51 points. 51 points on Team Onlyman's. Oh man, that's close. So at the minute, I mean, quite obviously, we've got two things to say now. Unfortunately, we're 5 laps to go. It's just going to the pits, which may make a difference. Firstly, it's going to be a big congratulations to Pagani, turning to the pinnacle for another Drivers' Championship. He has got P3. Not in the bag, but as close as damn it, and he doesn't even need that. As we said, he'd have to finish like E10 with Biggles taking the win for him to lose out in the Drivers' Championship, but that's not going to happen. Biggles at the moment is still holding off Aaron, but that is not cut and dried with Feber in the mix as well, just 4.5 seconds down the road, so we'll wait and see. But the Constructors' Championship clearly will be taken by Thompson and Mongs. I'm sure T. Smith will be delighted when he finally lands. They're clear now. The real interesting one is the battle for P2 in the Constructors, which we never thought we'd see tonight. So as it stands, Feber is 4th. He's the only remaining Onlyman's driver in this race. And then we've got Pagani P3, Blue Flag P7, and Mikey P12. And that puts Team Tools 3.5 points clear of Team Onlyman's and into P2 in the Constructors' Championship. And here's the caveat, the big caveat, if my maths are right. If the spreadsheet is correct. That's a big if. So we will wait and see on that. Everybody has now done their final pit stops, so could well come down to these final few positions. However, everyone is reasonably spread out now. Ross is well clear of Ron, 2.6 seconds, so I think he's managed to hang on. He's done a really good job all race, Ross. I honestly didn't think it would be as close as this was because I wasn't paying attention. But in all honesty, fantastic drive so far. He's 3 seconds clear and he should see it home from here. Rom, absolutely as well. Brilliant drive. He is likely to come home in P2. Garni P3 will be enough by far, and he's just for good measure set the fastest lap of the race, 150.2. He will be claiming the driver's title, well deserved as well. Bieber, we are. I mean, I can't remember. I can't remember now. Was the reason Phoebe was driving in GT2 purely because of days he can race? I don't think it was. I think it's just he was coming back in, but I'm sure we'll be seeing him in GT1 next season because clearly he is not only GT1 pace, but right up there, especially when it comes to his long races. It's so consistent. So he is likely to take P4. Biggles is right there with Aaron. Aaron's going to do his best. He's going to have to, if he wants to overtake Biggles in the Drivers' Championship, he's going to have to not only overtake him, but hunt him off and set fire to his car for good measure. Blue Flag's a further half a minute back, but it's been a really good battle between these two. And I think, in all honesty, it's good to see Biggles hold on to that P2 because he will be gutted with the way the last couple of weeks have gone, having lost that lead in the championship to Pagani. Whoa, he's very wide there. Jeez. Not making it easy. Aaron's going to make the move, is he? Yes, he is. Or is he? Yes, he is. Aaron takes P4. Aaron's got a long way to go to catch Fever. Don't think it's going to happen. Oh, a little bit of a... Oh, Biggles is hitting back. He has not given up. And he's got the pace advantage over the Subaru. And retakes the position. Does he? No, he's gone deep. He's gone deep. Aaron gets it back. Biggles needs to hang on till the next straight because that Subaru just crawls along the straight. If he can stay behind him, he'll have another chance to overtake him. Maybe just 2 laps to go. Everybody else reasonably spread out. Andy's picked up a penalty for good measure. Mikey's still going. Good on you, Mikey. And Ross now just easing away from Rom. Absolutely no way that Rom could keep up on the hard tyres. He's still run a very, very good race. Just 1.5 laps to go now. Got my wife on the WhatsApp asking me if I'm coming downstairs this evening. But no. It's a 3-hour stream. We're doing it. Oh dear. What a great end to the season this has been. We've had all sorts this evening. It looked like it was all done and dusted, then it all came back, and then we had a series of random disconnects which threw it all into chaos. Now finally, just a lap to go, it looks like things are settling out. Aaron's just sliding it for good measure, but he's well clear of Biggles now, but it doesn't matter. Biggles is just about going to hold on. Assuming he gets to the end on that fuel, maybe something to keep an eye on. I'm sure he'll be okay. Not going to pull a homer. This. That really cost. That's cost Homer a position at least. Yeah. Running out of fuel there. Ooh, Dusty Fossil may die on the final lap. Oh no, actually it is the final lap. He's been lapped, hasn't he? So he may just make it to the end. We've seen what that Lamborghini can do to people when those tyres run out completely. He's very close to the edge. And he's not too far behind him as well. We'll see about that. But meanwhile, just half a lap to go. Ross is now pulled to 7 seconds clear. Rom just could not hang with him for obvious reasons. The tyre's just not there. Rom's slowly running out of fuel as well. But Ross, fantastic drive. It's led most of the race. Here it comes now. Final race of the season. As you said, it's been an up and down season for Ross, but to claim his 2nd victory of the season. Perfect drive. Comes across the line to take the victory. Rom as well, fantastic effort. Held onto his fuel in the end. He will come home for P2. More than happy as well. A couple of really, really good performances there. But here he is, and with a good old tail slide out of the final corner for good measure, your GT1 champion for GT25. Back to his best, back to the top. Garni takes it. Bieber, wonderful stand-in. He finishes P4. But here come your Constructors champions as well. Aaron in P5. Andy will cross the line in P10. That is good enough for the title. Well done. Thompsons and Bonds, you take crown this year. Biggles, what could have been P2. in the Drivers' Championship. Just about held on to that ahead of Aaron. There was, I believe, 2 points in it at the end. It was done enough there, but he will be ruining the mistakes in the earlier weeks, which cost him the driver's title. He'll be back again next year, I'm sure. Blue flag, great drive from him. It's not far off securing P2 for Team Tools. I'm just going to double check again, with FIBA finishing in 4th. So yeah, just to make sure, FIBA finished 4th. Garney 3rd, Blue flag 7th, Mikey 12th. You know what? I believe, and of course it's provisional, but I do believe that Team Tools have taken P2 in the Constructors' title by 3.5 points. So there's something we didn't expect. After all that. Well, there you go then. One more time, your final results. Ross takes the victory. Ron not too far behind. Pagani P3, FIBA, Aaron, Pickles, Blue Flag, Homer, Graham MP9, Andy MP10, Dusty Fossil, Mikey, and then unfortunately the 2 disconnects, DNFs for Lee and Tom Duval. Well, there we have it. We are all done for GT25. Everybody who's participated, everyone who has contributed, put in the effort, our admins, our stewards, our commentators, everybody who's put anything into this league, thank you ever so much. We've done 25 whole seasons with FTRL. I absolutely guarantee we'll be back very, very soon for the next one. And there we have it. I have been SPY. Thank you very much for joining me. We will be back.